All right, let's get right into it. What we're looking at today is a live coding session that, well, it might just be a glimpse into the future of how developers and AI work together. This is a totally new way of thinking about collaboration. So let's kick things off with this quote. And if you've ever coded with an AI, this is probably going to hit home. You know that feeling, right? That frustration when your AI assistant is so sure its broken code is perfect? Developer Ray Fernando has a name for it. He calls it being gaslit by the AI. Look, AI coding assistants are amazing. There's no doubt about it. But they can be really inconsistent. It kind of feels like you've hired this genius builder who can do incredible things, but half the time they just ignore the blueprint. And that just leads to wasted time and, a lot of headaches. And this is more than just a minor annoyance, right? It's really about a breakdown of trust. I mean, if you can't rely on your AI partner, you end up spending more time checking its work than it actually saves you. Suddenly, this powerful tool becomes, well, a liability. Okay, but what if that's about to change? A new player has just entered the scene, GPT-5 Codex. And this thing is promising a huge leap forward. We're talking more reliability, more stamina, and the ability to handle some seriously complex stuff. And to be clear, this isn't just another small update. We're talking about an AI that's designed to be a persistent partner. It's there in your IDE, on your command line. It's everywhere you work. It's built from the ground up to do the real heavy lifting. And check this out, 7 hours. That number right there, it points to the sheer stamina of this thing. The documentation says it can stick with a single complex problem for up to 7 hours, just iterating and self-correcting until it gets it right. I mean, that's not just a step up, that's a whole different ballgame. So you gotta ask, does it live up to the hype? Well, let's find out. We're gonna follow developer Ray Fernando as he puts Codex through its paces with a really tricky real-world bug in his app. Okay, so here's the challenge. It's one of those bugs that seems simple but is super frustrating for users. On a phone or any smaller screen, you just can't scroll down to get to these important settings. They're just cut off. The goal? Simple. Make it work for everyone on every screen. But here's where it gets really interesting. The solution isn't just to dump the problem on the AI and hope for the best. No, the real magic is in the workflow. It's a very specific human-led process that basically tames the AI, turning it from a wild card into a super disciplined teammate. So, how do you actually do that? How do you make an unpredictable AI reliable? Well, the answer is in this very specific method for managing the AI. Ray Fernando actually calls it his secret sauce. And the main ingredient in that sauce is something called an agents.md file. The easiest way to think about these is like custom rulebooks for the AI. You drop one into a project folder and you're basically telling the AI, hey, anytime you're working in here, these are the rules, no exceptions. It gives the developer a ton of control. And when you work this way, it totally changes the game for the developer. You stop being the person laying every single brick. Instead, you become the architect. Your job is to create the perfect blueprint, write the building codes, and then inspect the work at each stage. The AI becomes the builder. All right, so let's see what this architects and builder partnership looks like in practice. Ray's got his detailed plan all mapped out. Now he's handing it over to the AI builder, GPT-5 Codex, to actually get the work done. And what's the first thing the AI does? It doesn't just blindly start writing code. First, it proves it understands the plan. It actually generates its own multi-phase plan right from the specs you gave it. It breaks the whole big problem down into smaller, manageable pieces. This is it right here. This is the new partnership in action. The AI is guided by the human's plan and constrained by those agents.md rules, and it just works through the problem, step by step. It's not a chaotic genius anymore. It's a focused, disciplined worker. And the result? Well, the most important part is it worked. Plain and simple. By following the human architected plan, the AI fixed the bug. You can see here, the settings panel is now fully scrollable on a small screen. Job done. Okay, so this is about way more than just fixing one little bug. What we're seeing here is a glimpse of a really fundamental shift. The actual job of being a software developer, it's changing right before our eyes. So here's the big takeaway. The best developers in the future, they might not be the ones who can write the cleverest line of code. They'll be the ones who can create the clearest plans and the best rules for the AI to follow.
It's really less about laying the bricks and more about being that brilliant architect.
Which kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. If the AI is getting really, really good at the how, the actual coding, then what's the new bottleneck? It seems like the most valuable human skill is becoming the ability to perfectly define the what and the why. Maybe creating that perfect blueprint is about to become the most important skill in software development.